Hi, I'm Dr. Chalmers, and a lot of people have been asking us about clay packing, and clay packing is obviously the way that we repair the damage to the meridian system. So the big things you want to remember in this is that we're going to go kind of a 3-to-1 ratio. It's kind of a loose ratio of 1 part dry matter to 3 parts liquid. So what we're going to do is we want this to be kind of as gummy so it'll stick, but not so gummy it won't ball up and it just falls off. We also don't want it so runny that it just slides right off and just makes more of a mess than it does anything else. The other big thing we want to remember is that we want to use a glass bowl or a plastic bowl and a non-metallic spoon. Since this is an ionic function, we don't want any extra ions from any metal or anything like that that can cause some issues. Doesn't always happen, but it's just easier to stay away from anything metallic. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix our powder in and our liquid in. And make sure you get all the liquid. If you let the liquid sit too long, there is some dissolved solids in there, and we will get some of those that'll kind of clump up. So you're just going to kind of stir this up and get this into kind of a good consistency. And this will start to kind of ball up and clump up on you sooner rather than later. And so you can actually kind of get some of this stuff to become clay. Alright, with my handy TV edit, we've got it down to about a brownie batter consistency. And this is kind of what we want it. You can get a little bit thicker than this. The exact consistency isn't 100% necessary. If you need to add, if it's a little bit too dry, add a little bit more fluid. If it's a little bit too loose, add a little bit more powder. It's not that difficult. It doesn't have to be exactly X to Y. Just try to get to about this consistency. Now then, when you're clay packing a spot, you're going to do that spot, whether it's a hand, a thigh, a shoulder, head, wherever that point is, and you're going to do a corresponding point. So I'm only going to do 1 point, but just to make sure that whenever you do your muddings, you do 2 spots. Generally the central command center and the damaged point. C-section, stomach, vaccine site, stomach, head trauma, wherever it goes, belly button, stomach, or wherever it goes. So we're going to kind of show you. You're going to put some in, and we want to get some pretty solid coverage over the whole area. If you're ever in question of, am I doing enough? Have I used enough? Should I use more? Use more. It's better to make a little bit extra mud once than have to do this whole process 2 or 3 times. So if you don't know how big of a spot to make it, again, make it a little bit bigger, because we want to make sure that we cover the entire space. We don't leave anything extra. So this is a pretty good coverage of the hand. And as you can see, it's not dripping off, it's not extra dry, it's not clumping up. So this is about the consistency that we really want. Now, what I'd have you do is sit, relax, face east, hang out for 20 minutes, and once you're done, go ahead and wash it off, and then proceed to your next site. Remember not to do more than 2 sites per day without having any way of detoxing castor pack for the kidneys specifically. It's not necessarily going to hurt you if you do more than 2 sites in one day, but it might give you a big detox reaction. So this is pretty much how to do it. If you have any other questions, feel free to call.